Welcome back, everyone. Look at that, all nicely seated. That's lovely. Please tell me someone tried out the QR codes too, yeah? Yeah? How'd it go? Good? Great. I'll give Mike the feedback. Now that we are all properly caffeinated, I think we are about to dive into what could be the German literature section of the day. So our very own CIO, Dietmar Fauser, is actually a scholar in both types of Kafka, which is my super nerdy cloud joke. But today we're going to focus on the cloud and not the trial. So I'm very excited to welcome back to the stage Mike Lynch, and welcome to the stage Dietmar Fauser for a conversation.
Thanks, Alexandra. In case you don't remember me from it, I'm the product guy and it's the engineer that's not wearing the jacket. So just in case. Dietmar, here we are again. It's exciting to see you. I think our job here is to talk a little bit about what we've seen and what we're excited about for the rest of the day. But can you kind of call out anything that you thought was particularly interesting from this morning's sessions? Earlier afternoon sessions. I'm getting there.
So yeah, to share some thoughts. So first and foremost, it's 1 year in since we had last Innovate here in New York, and if I look back, we were just through the acquisition of Cloud9, StreetLinx, and the demos I've seen this morning. Of course, I've seen them before, but what I find interesting and really good to point out is the speed at which the teams have come together. It is very complementary, as we see, and we realize more and more how good really these acquisitions were. So seeing instant voice starting to be integrated into Symphony, having a full multi-modal communication platform, everything is compliant, I think is a big thing. We have seen ECP, so the embedded chat platform, and of course the federation into more consumer networks, WhatsApp, WeChat, which is growing really fast currently, so it shows that it's a true value proposition to the industry, given what we have heard from the commissioner also today. So it's really good to see everything in motion and the progress that we have been making since then. And perhaps a word on regulation. So we talked a lot about cloud computing. The commissioner mentioned that CME has inked a deal with Google. So also a year ago, so more or less at the same time that we acquired the companies, we have established a deal with Google to move more workloads to them. So the fact that they went into the financial business big with CME was kind of reassuring, and it shows that there is, of course, a mega trend happening. So yeah, I'm very pleased to see all of these things.
I think that's right. I think
being in motion.
Yeah, I think as we get towards the next demo, and obviously Cloud9 and Symphony coming together, and what we're calling instant voice, it's going to look quite easy, right? Just I can be able to be in a Symphony chat room and all of a sudden hit somebody and instantly speak to them. But you and I both know how complicated that's been able to bring in two totally different tech stacks, two totally different teams who didn't know each other a year ago. And really build this together. So it's been a really exciting collaboration. I think something the market so far that we've seen is quite excited for. Now, we always try to use this session a little bit. We spend a lot of time about what we can show today, what's ready, what we can, what's there. But Dietmar and I and the team and Brad and everybody are of course always talking about what's next and the things that we're not ready to show yet. They might not be quite real, but we're excited about them. And why don't we, maybe in the cloud theme, Dietmar, is there anything you want to kind of talk to the audience a little bit about what you're spending a lot of your headspace on?
Yeah, so a bit more the forward-looking things, like short to midterm future we are working on is, so a lot of discussions with the cloud provider, with our customers, with advisors. So I come to this in a second on a complete field that we call confidential compute. So we come back to the cloud computing. So going to the cloud is opening, of course, a lot of capabilities, fast access to emerging technology, relatively secure computation. Because secure, I mean, because the infrastructure stack is industrialized, managed, so you don't have to deal with Linux vulnerabilities or all of the stuff that happens to all of us permanently. But it also obviously opens some dangers like data leakage or exposing keys and things like this on the cloud. So there is a lot of recent technology that is available to, for example, fully entirely protect memory space on a computer, for example, to ensure that if you decrypt data in a given memory segment, that this piece of computational capacity is totally shielded and guaranteed by the hardware not to be intruded, or, sorry for my English, not to be violated. So confidential computers are important, so we have created this year our technical advisory group, so we went through this. Of course, with the goal to move on-prem components to the cloud, and in the future offer more data processing capabilities that, of course, are not accessible by Symphony, but that is a tool set that allows for data pipelining, artificial intelligence, machine learning, NLP, all the buzzwords we are hearing about that are currently they're hitting the ground. There is a lot of activity ongoing, but we have to ensure that this is safe on the cloud. So, so that's a relatively big field, and of course we work with Google and the other tech providers on this. Another one is post-quantum encryption, quantum security. So we all create a lot of data. It is protected by existing encryption schemes, AES-256 in our case, and others. And we try to get our heads around at what point in time quantum computing will offer capabilities to break these existing encryption schemes in a matter of seconds, not in a matter of billions of years that we currently talk about. So it is very important that we all, and of course Symphony, starts to encrypt the data with post-quantum safe encryption schemes early enough to avoid that there are like gigantic archives hanging on the cloud that in the future will be vulnerable. And we already see evidence that people try to grab data that is fully encrypted just in light of exploring this potentially. So there are big archives on the dark web where we see encrypted data sitting around that no one currently can make use of, but in a matter of 5 years or so, it will be extremely vulnerable. So there is a big problem cooking up. And in Symphony, of course, we try to be a bit ahead of the wave and ensure that the data we start to encrypt now is safe in 5, 7 years when quantum computing will hit the mainstream appliances.
Yeah, I think, obviously we were founded with security at our core and encryption at our core, and we're excited to be a leader in this space as well as the next wave of what security looks like and means for this industry comes about. I was going to, as we kind of close up and get the next thing going, I think, you touched on data, Brad touched on data, and that I think is the topic that's probably most exciting to me, and how we have 2 terms that we've been using internally. This idea of Symphony as a data exchange, then how does Symphony provide data intelligence? O is, of course, with the end-to-end encryption still intact, and I think we saw with what the Tada bot did with Euromoney, the ability to provide and transmit secure, structured data between organizations. How do we start to think about Symphony more as a mechanism by which dealers, third-party platforms, asset managers can start to share their information, whether it's unstructured data like we do today, messages, voice, semi-structured content, structured content, and really create something that really is a network of content types that is inherently decentralized and secure. And that, we're obviously thinking a lot about that, and hopefully we're going to talk a lot more about that in the future.
We're going to talk more about this.
Yeah, exactly. But with that, I think we should get Rob and Meghan up on here to show us some more, I guess we're calling it stuff. So thank you all very much. Rob?
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Hi, everyone. My name is Rob Friend, and I'm a Senior Product Director here at Symphony.
And I'm Meghan Curran, and I run our customer success business here at Symphony.
And this is the last and the best demo of the day. Now, some of you may remember me from my London premiere, which I guess went pretty well because I've been invited back.
Well, the pressure's on because it's my Innovate premiere. What are we showing today, Rob?
Well, today, Meghan, we're going to show how smart desktops and Symphony can make everybody's lives easier.
I love the sound of making everyone's life easier.
Oh, yes. All right, so for today's demo, I'm going to be a sell-side salesperson at Beechtree Bank, And Meghan here is going to be my client and analyst at Older Tree Management.
And there's also some folks from my firm chiming in along the way. We have David, who's going to be playing my PM, and Adil, who's going to be a trader on my trading desk. They're here with Dimitar and Rahul, who are running our laptops for us.
Wow, that is a lot of people. Looks like mission control down there. So are we ready to launch, guys? Thumbs up, we'll go. All right. So, screen's up. Behind me, you can see my screen, and on there you can see I have my pricing charts, I have my grids, I have my CRM called Singletrack, and of course, I've got Symphony. And behind all that, I've got my smart desktop, something called Glue 42.
And on my screen, you see my price charts, my OMS, and of course, Symphony.
Now, for those of you that don't have a smart desktop or don't know about what they are, let's just take a moment. And maybe we start with what FDC3 is. Meghan, why don't you tell our audience what it means?
Okay, it's the Financial Desktop Connectivity Collaboration Consortium.
All right, snappy title. Financial desktop blah, blah, blah is what I heard. So let's just call it FDC3. But what it's called is not important. What it does is really what matters. The way I like to think about it is the smart desktop using FDC3 is a bit like the teacher at the kindergarten with all those kind of rowdy toddlers running around doing different things. And the smart desktop really gets all those apps under control with something called FDC3 and makes everything work beautifully. So let's talk about a typical day for me on the sell side. One of the things that I do is I like to watch the stocks that my clients care about. And I know there's been a lot of volatility in the automotive sector. So especially in Tesla, who put their results out late after the bell yesterday. So if we click on Tesla in my watch list there, what you'll see happen behind me is that all the other applications updated as a result of that. So what just happened was that the smart desktop communicated to all those apps, telling them that I had clicked on Tesla and that they should do something. Now that saved me a lot of time already, so this is awesome, I'm loving it. And now you can see over here on Singletrack, Singletrack has woken up and is showing me who the most common contacts I have that interact with Tesla. And I can see that Meghan is at the top of that list. So let's click on Meghan. What I'd like to do with Meghan, now I know she cares about Tesla, is I want to share some research with her. So if we start a chat with research, what we'll see there is we're going to go and retrieve that research from Singletrack. Now let's just talk about Singletrack for a second. It does a number of things for me. It's my CRM, so it contains all my client interactions. It's my content management system, so it has all the research that my firm has produced. And it can even update clients and send out the research as my analysts publish it. But for this example, what I want to do is start a chat. So if we click on that, you'll see that magically a Symphony chat started up. And because Meghan is a very valued client, and she is actually quite high maintenance, I want to add a bit more color to that research so she knows what's going on. So Dimitar, if we can just add something in there about supply chains and how that's going to impact the forecasts. There we go, fabulous. There's one more thing that I'd like to do. So we talked about cache tags, I think, earlier today. For those that are familiar with it, you'll understand what those are. But what we've done really is update those cache tags with our new enhanced tags. So if Dimitar just types hash and starts to type in Tesla, you'll see behind me that he'll start to see a pick list of the securities that we recognize. So this is really, really powerful. So we can pick Tesla from that list. And I think we're almost ready to go.
And Rob, I think this is a really important point. Behind the scenes, the system knows what that object is. It knows its reference IDs. It can link it to other applications on your desktop. And we use external reference data in order to standardize across the platform.
That's right, we do. And so that has behind it things like the FIGGIes, the CDOLs, ISINs and QSIPs, all those acronyms that we love in the financial markets. So I think we're just about ready to send that. So if we can hit the send button. Now remember, I did that all in a few clicks. And that's the power of the smart desktop. It makes me super efficient as a salesperson.
So if you look at my screen, it looks like Rob just sent me some research. And now if I hover over that same enhanced tag, you'll see the other applications I can use it with. I can also share it with my desktop, which I'm going to do now.
So, and Meghan can do that because she also has a smart desktop.
But back to Tesla.
Back to Tesla, back to the markets, that's right. Earlier today, we showcased Cloud9 and all the exciting things you can do with that voice trader technology. It's been over a year since the companies came together, and behind the scenes, the teams have been trying to work out how we can build new products. And one of those we wanted to show you today. It's something we're calling instant voice. Instant voice takes the power of Cloud9's trader voice capabilities and embeds it in Symphony. It allows Symphony users to have quick calls with their peers in a single click. It's perfect for those hybrid remote teams that need quick conversations and just need to get things done.
So I know my PM is really interested in Tesla, so I'm going to dive in. And as I'm looking at the volatility, I really want to get some color for my trading desk. And I'm going to do that with instant voice. You see I have a chat with them here, but because I have my headset, I might as well give them a call. Hey, guys.
Hey, Megan, what's up?
What's going on in Tesla?
Most of the flow has been dominated by Beach Street Bank and Dash Security. Dash seeing long-only's trimming.
OK, thanks. See how easy that was in just one click? So I want to, now that I have color for my desk and I have the research, I want to get in touch with my PM. Hey, David.
Hey, Megan, what's up?
Hey, moves in Tesla, desk seeing long-only's trim, and we have updated research from Beach Tree Bank. They updated their model.
Okay, I'll take a look. Who's on the analyst team at Beach Tree for Tesla? I want to speak to whoever built the model.
OK, I'll get back to you on that. Thanks. So as a buy-side analyst, I don't have a turret, and being able to have that direct line into my trading desk using instant voice in just one click makes life super efficient and easy. I also can do the same with my PM, who often works from home, again, all staying on the same screen. OK, so now I need to find out who the analyst is on Tesla. I'm going to do that from that same enhanced tag.
So what Megan's shown here is StreetLinx. For those of you that aren't familiar with StreetLinx, it's Symphony's enhanced directory. So the buy side can use it to find the sell side based on tagged interest areas. And for me, on the sell side, I use it to monitor which sectors and companies my clients care about. And because they update that data, I know it's always accurate. It also can be used on the operations side, where if you have operations teams you need to find or escalation contacts, it's a really good resource.
So because I opened StreetLinx from that tag, it's going to open to all the counterparties that have people at those firms tagged with Tesla. So if I expand Beach Tree Bank, I can see it looks like Kate Brown is the analyst. So I'm going to ask Rob for a meeting with Kate over Symphony. Now, I just want to highlight, again, all this information was populated by Beach Tree Bank, so I can trust that Kate Brown is the analyst on it.
All right, well, I told you that Megan is a little bit high maintenance, so it looks like she's come in and asked for a meeting with the analyst on that model. So, Dimitri, if you can just tell her that we'll set that up. The last thing I need to do, as all salespeople know, is keep my CRM up to date. And we'll show you how you can do that really easily with smart desktops again. So, what we're going to do is Dimitri's going to select that message where Megan asked for that meeting, and we're going to share that message. And what's going to happen is, again, with FTC3, it's going to talk to the desktop and get Singletrack to share that information and save it down as an interaction. So for me as a salesperson, I don't need to do anything more because Singletrack has already saved that interaction, and we're all done.
And Rob, now you don't have any excuses not to keep your CRM up to date.
I always keep my CRM up to date. You know that, Megan. All right. So we've covered a lot there. And let's just recap what you've seen. We showed you how we can make the sell side more efficient with FTC3 and smart desktops. We showed you the enhanced tags that you can use across your desktop, but also over Symphony and between firms.
We also showed you how to make the analyst's life easier with instant voice and StreetLinx. And we even showed you how you can keep your CRM up to date with just a few clicks. And now we're going to be at the demo booth during cocktail hour, so please stop by, and we're happy to show you StreetLinx, instant voice, and all those good things.
Yeah. All right, so now it's my pleasure to introduce this onto stage, our partners who helped make this all possible. Please welcome Paul Dyson from Singletrack and Leslie Spiro from Glue 42. Welcome. Hi, Leslie. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for helping with that demo. First question for you, Leslie. What we just showed here is something that Glue 42, I think, call straight-through workflows. Can you tell us a bit more about what those are?
Yes, I mean, they're really what everybody wants, which is to have an easy life without making errors. And the fact that they have to use multiple applications is a good thing for all of us, I think. And so obviously we're drawing on straight-through processing, which transformed the way trading, initially equity trading, was thought about, because it made it very clear that it was straight through going through multiple systems. And I think what we're trying to get across with straight-through workflows is that this activity will go through these applications, but not by the user clicking around, copy, paste, and all that kind of stuff. So we're really trying to kind of make it clear that with a smart desktop like Glue42, with FTC3, with all these applications that can work through it, you can really start to get the same efficiency savings, the same reduction in errors without, just by you making use of that, just the applications that you have. No need to try and create the one big Uber application that does everything.
Fantastic.
And Paul, how important is it for Singletrack users to have this type of workflow-driven integration with Symphony?
So integration with Symphony has been one of our sort of #1 requests from customers. Singletrack is at its heart a sell-side CRM, but we also handle research distribution, IPO management, roadshows, events, deals, and so we store a huge amount of information about customers. So when Symphony users are chatting with their clients, they need access to that information in real time as they're working. We also combine that with other forms of data to provide what we call data-driven advisory, so giving you kind of real prompts about who is likely to need interaction and when. So the kind of interaction that we saw is a really important piece of data, and there's a lot of work going on at the moment in chat, in voice, that's just not being captured and utilised. So we see this as a way of providing better data where our users are working in your system.
Great. And Leslie, we just showed a research distribution workflow there. What are some of the other kind of workflows that you're seeing in this space?
Well, don't forget a workflow, in this case, is someone trying to do a job. So if I'm a trader, I need to trade, and if I'm an analyst, I need to come up with ideas, portfolio manager, I need to book lunch, I guess, but I mean, whatever it is that you need to do. And so those are the kind of, anything you do, and you're doing it through applications that using more than one, you're going to want a workflow that goes through it. And so we have a way of looking at these things which we call click to sync, where everything goes into a particular instrument, and click to launch, which you showed where you came from chat into Singletrack. Those are interesting things. Click to launch an order window. So click to launch, you don't trade directly from that because the trader needs to press the button, but actually you can choose what it is you want to see. So that's a very useful, that's a classic thing, because these workflows start from some event, and that event might be a voice call, it might be a message on Symphony, and we go from there. And FTC3 provides a kind of base level of things, and then if you want to do a little bit more, we support that as well, where you want to have that kind of full scripting piece. But, so yeah, they would be kind of classic.
Fantastic.
Workflows.
And Paul, how do you see your support for desktop integration and straight-through workflows evolving?
So as I've mentioned, we're a sort of a SaaS-based application, so really accessed only via the browser, but we understand quite how important smooth desktop experiences are for our clients. So we've invested quite heavily in this work, and I think that will really continue. FTC3's a really interesting standard by ourselves, and Symphony and a few other sort of vendors have been looking at how we can enrich that. And this is all part of something we call Singletrack Where You Are, which is putting all of our intelligence, all of our data, all of our advisory capabilities where users live.
Fantastic. Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for, guys. I'm going to hand over to Alexandra, our MC, and we're going to exit the stage. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.